So I thought it would be oh so appropriate to do an episode about detoxification. Let's talk about those detox pathways, the do's, the don'ts, the bullshit, and everything in between. Amy, care to start us off with a word on detoxification?
Yeah, I think almost starting with what is detox is a good place to start, because I feel like there's a lot of confusion around what that even means.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the word detox gets sort of misused and abused a little bit, or just kind of like interpreted in weird ways.
Mm-hmm.
From my standpoint, I sort of think about, and maybe it's the nutrition side of me, like how can our body manage waste? How can we make sure that we're getting rid of things that need to be gotten rid of from our bodies? But a lot of times, and I think I think about the liver a lot in that equation, like what sort of things does the liver need? The kidneys can also be at play in detox as well. Really anything that's in, also gut function, obviously you want to be pooping stuff out. I find that generally people think of detox as like juice cleanses.
I think that's what ends up happening a lot in like the mainstream is like, yeah, it's either a juice cleanse or maybe like almost half a step up is you get marketed some expensive product like a protein powder that has a bunch of stuff in it.
Right.
And like you do meal replacements and it's like your detox shake.
Yeah.
But yeah, detox can go way, way beyond those two elements. And I like how you worded it. It's how the body gets rid of waste or unwanted stuff.
Go ahead.
I think another element is like going on a detox, quote unquote, tends to be a very like short-term, short-sighted,
Yeah.
it's January 1st, I'm going to start my detox and I'm going to do it for like a week or two and then I'll be good.
Right.
And when you buy these products, for example, or if you sign up for like a juice cleanse at your local juice shop, like there's one across the street from my office and I see the signs every year, like, okay, new year, you can sign up for a program and get basically all of your juice meals through them for like a week and it's a big bundle.
Yeah.
And it's like, it gives you this illusion that detox then can end. And like, oh, you like pound through it for a while and then you don't have to worry about it. And then you can go back to drinking water out of your BPA plastic water bottle and using body care products that are loaded with phthalates or parabens and like, doing whatever, I don't know, gnawing on a piece of mercury. I don't know what people do, but like you could just, take care of it for like a week or two and then you're good. And it's like, well, no, I think the biggest part of detoxification in my eyes is avoidance of all of the chemical shit in the world. And no matter where you are on planet Earth, assuming you're listening from planet Earth, you're pretty much doomed. I think a big piece in my eyes is like when I do have this conversation with patients, it's more of like I give them a handout that I jokingly call like the horrifying handout. I'm like, if I've made this handout well, it'll probably give you some nightmares. Because I list off like the compound where you can find it as some of the health conditions it's associated with. And like just try to knock stuff off the list. Like, you don't have to go move onto a hippie commune and like never use soap again immediately.
Right. Yeah. No, I 100% agree. And I think it's like important too, like that people are listening to their bodies as well, like when they're doing any sort of like detox too, because there's some sorts of detoxes that can be a little bit, again, I typically like gentler detoxes that aren't going to create any intense reactions. And I typically, again, if someone has SIBO too, like even just being aware that your body might need some detox help is always good. So like when you're doing any sort of clearing and you do feel like you're kind of not feeling great from the clearing for a longer period of time, like it's not something that like is there for a couple days and goes away. But if you have like the die off type situations, like to me, that's always red flag that there probably is some issues with detox. So I think like you should always be aware of when your body needs a little bit of detox or trying to like locate the signs. And one of the signs is just not feeling well from a clearing protocol or any sort of manipulation of the gut. if you're working on your gut. But I also think like knowing how you're responding to some of the detox agents, like sometimes people are just like, oh, I'm supposed to feel like this with detox. Like I'm supposed to kind of feel worse before I feel better. And that's just not always the truth at all. And it could sometimes be a reaction to something that you're taking and it not working for your body. I think there's this like general opinion too, just to plow through those.
Yeah.
And like what you're saying, again, it could be leaky gut, it could be other things, could be liver getting congested and inflamed. And trying to push through that could just make matters so much worse. So I just think, again, like being gentle, sometimes the most aggressive isn't always the best approach.
Found the wording in my head, like as you were talking, this came to me, is that I think honestly, detoxification like protocols, if they're done correctly, they will be really slow.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, again, you start with the things that are frankly not glamorous. You start out with the things like, you know, playing with some caloric restriction, or, you know, doing like more cruciferous veggies, getting on a multivitamin, like avoiding all the chemical shit in the world. Like you start with the things that are really not fancy, and they're also not quick in the sense of like instant gratification for symptoms. It's very rare, you know, for people to say, okay, you know, new year, new me, I'm going to get rid of all my BPA water bottles and I'm just going to drink out of glass or metal. And then like they do that on a Tuesday and then Wednesday they feel amazing. Like that doesn't happen ever. It's because, and the thing to realize is that all of these chemical compounds have a half-life in the body, and a lot of them are really long. It's not that easy and it's not that fast, honestly. Like it really needs to be, I'm going to sound cliche, it needs to be more of a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
And it needs to be more of like a gradual, just like reducing what you can.